Do you have a pair of old jeans that you really don't want to get rid of, but you want to make something new with them? In this video, we're going to make a cute denim phone pouch with a little pocket on the front with those old jeans. I'm Mia, and I've made and sold hundreds of handmade bags, and in this video, I'm going to help you make a really cute phone pouch. Let's get right into it. And here's a list of some of the items you will need to make this bag. First, I grabbed a pair of old jeans, and I cut both of the legs off. And then I cut right up the seam to open up both of those leg pieces. This little bag came about because I have a little girl in my life that is so special, and she asked me to make her a purse for her birthday. She could have asked for anything, but she wanted me to make her something to match her outfit for her birthday, and she was wearing all black. So I decided to grab a pair of black jeans, cut it up, and make her a little phone pouch because she's always carrying her phone in her hand. So I thought she could just throw her phone in there, a little lip gloss or whatever in the little front pocket. I also got some iron-on letters to customize it with her name on the back. And when I gave it to her, you guys, she was just so happy. Like, you can tell when someone is just genuinely excited about a gift. She smiled so big, and I was just too excited that she was so happy. All right, so let's get back to the bag. I cut two outer pieces 5x8 out of the leg pieces that I cut off. So to make the lines on the fabric, I used some chalk. Being that the jeans was a dark color, using disappearing markers and all of that, it wouldn't show up on the jeans, so the chalk to me is the best way to go to make the markings on the fabric. If you are a beginner sewer, I do have a free ebook called Happy Sewing that you can download for free, and it's a great resource to help you learn all the ins and outs of handmade bag making and what you need to get started. I also use pins and clips for certain projects, just depending on what part of the project I'm working on. And then after that, I put both pieces on top of each other, and then I just rounded both corners. I used some scraps of fusible fleece to iron on the back sides of the main 5x8 panels. So now you have both main panels done with the fusible fleece on the back. I went ahead and cut out all the gusset pieces. And I also cut out two main lining pieces to go on the inside of the main panels 5x8. The gusset pieces should be 1.5 by 9. I cut 2 for the outer and 2 for the lining. And then also for the bottom portion of the gusset, I cut 2 pieces, 1 for the outer and 1 for the lining, 3 inches by 15 inches. I always use zipper by the yard, but if you have a 10-inch zipper, you can just use that. But I cut the zipper 10 inches and then added the zipper pull. So the zipper just needs to be a little bit longer than the main gusset pieces at the top, the zipper gusset pieces, which are 9 inches long. And now after cutting the zipper, we can go ahead and put the zipper gusset together. So now I took the zipper facing up and placed it right over the lining strip that's 1.5 inch by 9. And then I'm gonna just put the denim strip right on top of it, face down. And to hold the gusset pieces together, I'm gonna clip everything in place. And then I'm gonna sew with a zipper foot across all layers to attach them together. And after that, I'm gonna fold both layers back together, stick some pins in them, and then I'm gonna top stitch right along the seam. Now I'm gonna take the zipper piece that we just made and place it right side up over the other lining strip. And then take the denim piece face down and place it right over the zipper. Clip it all in place again and sew across using a zipper foot. And then I'm going to do the same thing, fold the layers back, stick some pins in them, and then just top stitch right about an eighth of an inch away from the seam. Afterwards, I cut off the excess zipper from both ends. So to avoid cutting the zipper off, just open the zipper a little bit, and that way you won't cut it off from the end. Now I'm going to work on making the D-ring tabs for the strap attachment. I grabbed 2 1/2-inch D-rings, and what I'm going to do is cut 2 pieces of fabric. 2 by 3 inches is usually good enough. And I'm going to use the fold over method. So basically I fold the piece of fabric in half, and then I fold both edges in towards the fold line, and then fold it over again, and then just press it. This is usually the easiest way to make any type of strap or tabs that you need for the D-rings. So this is the method that I use for every strap attachment that I need to make. And then after sewing down both sides of the 2 little tabs, I'm going to push them right through the D-rings and then use a little clip to hold it in place. These are going to go on both ends of the gusset. So the raw edges stick out about a 1/2 of an inch on both sides, and then I'm just going to clip them onto the end of the gusset and then sew right across them just to secure them in place. After that, I'm going to take the 2 bottom layers of the gusset and sandwich the zipper right between both layers. So the outer layer and the lining layer are both going to be right sides facing with the zipper sandwiched in between, and I'm going to use some clips to just hold those layers in place. And then I just sewed across both ends with about a 1/2 of an inch seam allowance. After that, I just folded the bottom layers together and then took some pins just to hold it in place. And then I'm going to sew right across the 2 side seams right underneath the seam with about a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to sew all the way around both sides of the gusset. And then after sewing, I cut off a little bit of the excess seam just to eliminate some of the bulk. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So here I'm just taking my scissors and just making sure the 2 seams meet up on the gusset, so that can help me find the center marks. I'm going to use the scissors to snip out a little small snippet on all the sides of the center of the gusset. Also going to snip out the center of the main front and back denim pieces as well. Now I'm gonna work on attaching the gusset to the front panel. I'm gonna use the little snips that we just made, and I'm going to match them up at the very center of the gusset to the very center of the main panel. And I'm gonna match up all the little nicks all the way around on all four sides to make sure everything matches up evenly. Then I took my scissors and made small little snips around the corners of the gusset, right where the gusset is gonna go around the edge, the corner of the front main panel. So I do this so that way it spreads a little bit and it's just easier to clip and sew around. Now I'm just gonna clip the gusset all the way around the main panel. Honestly, you can sew all the way around, or you can attach the lining piece to it and then sew all the way around. You'll see when I attach the back panel how I just attach the lining piece at the same time, so it's not an extra step. But you can do it like I did it. You can sew all the way around and then add the lining and then sew around it again, but that's just an extra step that you really don't have to do. If you have bias tape, you can use that, but I just used a strip of fabric to cover the raw edges. So for the width of it, I used about 2 inches. I cut about 2 inches, but the length of it, just make sure it's long enough to go all the way around the pouch. So to start attaching it onto the raw edges, I just folded the strip back towards me about 1/2 of an inch, and then I just clipped it along the edges where the raw edges meet up, all around the whole pouch. And then I sewed all the way around, attaching the lining piece, the gusset, to the main panel, and everything is gonna get stitched together. And then I folded the little bias tape or the strip of fabric over, and then I'm going to fold it again and fold it right over the raw edges and then clip everything in place. And then I'm just gonna sew around the edge of the bag, securing the strip of fabric covering the raw edges. Now the front of the bag is almost done. We just have to start working on the front pocket. So now, after finishing the front panel of the main bag, I'm gonna start working on the zipper pocket on the front. To construct this little pocket, it's pretty much the same way as we made the main bag front. I just cut out a piece 4x5 for the front panel. And then I'm just gonna cut a little piece of zipper and then cut 2 strips for the gusset and put it together in the same way we made the front panel for the main bag. I also cut out a piece for the lining for the little front pocket. There's gonna be no backside to the front pocket. The backside is gonna be the front main panel piece. I cut out the 7-inch zipper. And then for the bottom gusset pieces, I just needed 2 strips, one for the outer and one for the lining. And those strips measured 1 inch by 12 inches. I did cut out a little bit of fusible fleece to go on the back side of the front of the zipper pocket on the front. So I ironed it onto the denim layer. And this is a great time to add your bag tag if you have one, or maybe just a handmade label or something like that onto the bag, just to brand it or just to let everyone know it is a handmade bag. So now I'm just making the gusset on the little pocket. I'm just gonna sandwich the zipper in between both layers of the little strips that I cut out for the bottom of the zipper. And then after making the gusset, the same way we made the gusset for the main bag, I'm gonna find the center of the front little pocket piece on all 4 sides, and then also snip out the center on the gusset on all 4 sides. Then I'm gonna go ahead and start attaching the gusset to the little pocket piece. And then after sewing all the way around the gusset onto the front little pocket piece, I'm gonna attach the lining. But what I'm gonna do a little different is sew the lining down onto the front pocket piece with the pocket piece facing up. And then I'm gonna place the lining piece facing down over the zipper. So a little bit different than how we made the main bag. But I'm also gonna find the center of the lining piece on all four sides and then just place it right over the zipper. But I'm also gonna leave a little opening on the side of the lining that's gonna be covering the zipper, just so that way I can turn this little piece inside out. So I'm gonna grab my chalk and make about an inch opening, maybe an inch and a half, just so that way I can turn this little piece inside out. And then I'm gonna hand sew it closed once I'm done. Here I'm just cutting off a little bit of the excess seam. Here I'm just gonna grab a needle and some thread, and I'm just gonna hand sew the little opening that we left open closed. All right, we're in the home stretch. After this, we're gonna attach the pocket onto the front of the main bag. So I'm gonna fold the little front pocket inward about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm gonna use the seam that's on the main bag as the place where I'm going to sew the pocket onto. So I'm gonna hand sew the pocket onto the front of the main bag, but first I'm just going to use some pins to just kind of secure it in place and just make sure everything is nice and neat and evenly placed onto the front of the main bag. I'm gonna tuck the very top portion of the zipper in about 1/8 of an inch as well, and then also stick some pins in it to hold it in place before I start sewing. And now I'm just gonna use a needle and thread and hand sew that front pocket right onto the front of the main bag. And then I grabbed the back panel and I placed it right over the lining piece. And then I'm going to line it up with all the little snips that we made right at the center of the gusset and line up all four sides. And then I'm gonna clip it in place all the way around. I did iron on some little letters for the birthday girl's name. You don't have to do that part. You can just leave your back completely without any letters on it, but I just thought that would add a nice personalized touch to the gift since I was giving it as a little birthday gift. So again, instead of using bias tape, I just cut a strip of fabric to cover the raw edges on the inside of the bag. So I'm just gonna fold the end of the little strip back towards me and then place it over the edge of the bag and clip it all the way around. And when I get to the end of the strip is gonna cover the piece that I folded a 1/2 inch back towards me. And now we're gonna finish off the inside of the bag just like we did the front panel. And this should pretty much finish off the whole bag after this. We're gonna turn it inside out and see what we got. And we are done, you guys. It turned out really cute. And I think it's the perfect size to throw your phone into. The front pocket is great for keys or if you want to put a few cards, money. But it's just a really cute little bag to run to the store or wear every day. You can put a long strap. I had a silver chain strap that I wanted to put on it for her to match her outfit, but this is a really cute bag, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch the next video on screen if you would like another DIY bag, and I'll see you in that video.